this was definitely my most stressful day so far. Well guys, I am in Billings, Montana. About halfway into the trip, it got really bad. Every time a tractor trailer would pass me, I couldn't see anything. Well, my beautiful blue skies are gone and replaced with gray clouds. I'm expecting this weather. I've been watching it. It should just be rain, but I do have to cross a pass, I believe, in Wyoming, and I'm hoping I don't see any snow there. After that, it should be okay right through Billings, and my hope is that I get to Billings this evening because I'd like to see an old friend of mine there. It'll be a long day. I think that's around 500 miles or so, which is what I did yesterday. So we'll see how it goes. I do see a little bit of sunshine over my left shoulder, but definitely a lot of clouds up ahead. This is South Dakota. This is where I'm thinking I have swam in this water. I think right off to the right there. Yep. Off to the right is a old boat ramp. And my last trip across country, I went down there and spent the day swimming in this water. This is the Missouri River. So this is the difference between a mission and driving around the country, enjoying the sights. See the road sign coming up here? When I was coming out here a couple of years ago, this is right after my mom passed, I came across that road and I pulled off, and there's a radio tower way up at the top, and I drove all the way up there with vandalism. I probably spent about an hour up there just playing on this long dirt road that really nobody was on. I had a great time just frolicking out there, and that's not something I can do now. This is very much a mission to get both of these vehicles to Washington, and I will look forward to frolicking in the future. This is the Badlands area of South Dakota. I think they are to my south. I have been to the Badlands in my 78 VW bus. That was quite a trip.
Continue on I-90 west for 21 miles.
I am very thankful that Google Maps has made sure I did not exit at a rest stop. Sometimes I wonder about Google Maps. Well, we are officially in Wyoming. And like I forgot it yesterday, I forgot to turn the camera on when I just crossed the state line. Hoping to make Billings tonight. It's still another 300 something miles to Billings. So it's a lot of driving. And I've crossed the time zone. I'm in Mountain Standard now. How many of you have been to Devil's Tower? Comment below if you've been there. And it looks like there is a blizzard expected 3 a.m. Saturday morning. And I am going to be glad I am out of this area by then. But I hope I don't hit any snow between now and then. But I am going to push on for Billings. I should get there around 9:30 tonight. Here's another warning. Hopefully it's still saying pretty much all of Saturday and into Sunday morning. And I've been watching that storm since a couple of days ago, and just hoping that my timing through here was going to be either well after it or before it. And it's like right before it, so I'm hoping that I don't hit any flurries or rain today, because the clouds are off to my left and they're pretty heavy. The radar does show rain here right now, but it's not. Might not be able to see it in the video. Well, you can see some snow on the side, but the mountains ahead of me there are all snow covered, which is to be expected at this time of year. Looks like it's just rained in Billings. I got another 3 hours before I hit there. Should be coming up to the Montana border any second now. A welcome to Montana sign. I see the welcome to Wyoming sign on the other side. I think that very faded out. Yep, that was it. That faded out sign on the right hand side. I think you might be able to see it better during the day, but we're officially in Montana. The storm, the blizzard was supposed to come in around 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, and they just changed that till 1 a.m. So it's arriving earlier. Well, guys, I am in Billings, Montana. And it is about 7:30 in the morning. And I actually ended up in Hardin, Montana late last night in the middle of yet another snowstorm. And once again, driving was impossible. This time I was able to get to the exit and get off into this small town. Found an IGA to park in. But what happened was that Hardin is 50 miles south of Billings, and I believe at a higher elevation, I'm not sure, but the snowstorm that was hitting there last night is due to continue all day today and have blizzard conditions, and that continues until tomorrow morning. So basically all day Saturday and part of Sunday. I saw a weather window between 3:30 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. where the snow was supposed to stop, the rain where it was raining was supposed to stop, and I kept checking the Montana highway maps. They weren't showing any incidents on the road. So at 5:30 in the morning, I decided to travel the 50 miles to get to Billings, Montana, which is outside of the blizzard that is expected to hit south of here. So I wanted to get out of that area, or I knew I was going to be there probably through late Sunday or Monday. So I hit the road. It was just raining at that point. The roads were pretty clear. Got onto I-90 and was traveling along really good on there. And it's like a 50-mile trip, and about I'm gonna say 5-10 miles into it, the road started getting worse. And it was just slushy, and it wasn't from the snow, because it was no longer snowing, it was just raining, but there was no maintenance done on the road. So all the snow that had fallen all night long had still been sitting there. And I continued on. I'd come to areas that were cleared, and then other areas, and clear being that it had melted or just didn't snow there, and then other areas that was completely snow covered. About halfway into the trip, it got really bad, like worse than when I had my accident. It was not snowing, so that's the key part. It was raining, but it was not snowing. But there was about 4 inches of snow on the highway. There was only the tracks cleared where a previous car might have gone through, and then lots of tracks of where everybody had slid off the road. I was able to maintain it. The truck has 4-wheel drive, and I was able to, well, before I left, I made sure the hubs were locked so I could put it into 4 if I needed to, and I was using that. But again, my problem isn't going, my problem is stopping. So I'm continuing on. Every time a tractor trailer would pass me, I couldn't see anything. They'd put so much spray into my lane that I would just be blind for a few seconds as they passed. Then I'm coming down a hill. A couple of trucks had just passed me, but up ahead I could see police lights and a car that had slid off the road, a car that had previously passed me, as well as the police car. So both the police car and the car that slid off the road had passed me a little early on. The tractor trailer could see this too, and I don't know why he passed me, but he did, and I couldn't believe it because the police car was in the left-hand lane. There's no shoulder or anything to pull off on because of the snow. So the police officer's in the left-hand lane. Him and the driver are out of the car, and this tractor trailer passes me on the left, pulls in front of me on the right, and then passes the cop. I just could not believe how fast he was going in that situation, knowing that he's in a spot that the snow has caused a car to slide off of. From there on out, it just degraded. The road, the tracks like completely disappear. There was maybe like one lane or one tire track in each spot, and it didn't always stay in the right-hand lane. It would move depending on where I guess the previous truck had driven. It was really slippery. It was downhill, which is my problem. I can't stop like that. So I was using the manual braking system on the van. So I would engage it myself to slow me down with the van instead of applying the brakes on the truck. And at this point, I ended up having a truck and a car behind me. Eventually, there was a bit more traffic because I'm doing about 15-20 miles an hour and trying to go down this super slippery long hill. I mean, I could feel my truck sliding. It was that bad. And I can't see the bottom of the hill. It just continues on from this part in where I was. It seemed like it was just downhill forever, and it was just a lot of snow. Finally hit an area after about 15 minutes of driving like this, completely stressed out. I finally hit an area near the bottom of the hill where the snow wasn't sticking or had melted away, and then I was like, good. I was 6 miles, I think, from Billings at that point, so I was like, okay, I can make this. The roads have cleared up. I'm going to keep going. And within a mile, we went back up, and it was the same exact thing all over again. I didn't get out of snow until about a half mile from Billings. When I came into Billings, that's when the snow disappeared. I am now in Billings. I've got to check the weather for the rest of the day. I am out of the storm, but there is a storm to the west of me, a very small one, and that's right near one of the passes, so I want to check on that. I know the information online is not either being updated or isn't showing the information because they never reported any of these sections being snow covered nor accidents. They did show slow traffic, but that was it. I didn't find any useful information online for traveling at all. But this was definitely my most stressful day so far. I did not think I was making it here today, and I am going to be so glad when I am out of snow pulling this rig. This is insane. I have, from here, one more day. I'll have a stop in somewhere in Idaho, and then from Idaho it's another day drive to hit Washington, North Bend, Washington. So yep, I'm going to make myself some breakfast and chill out. I might even go try to get some more sleep, because I could feel my body is totally in shock. Even when I was just fueling up here, it was still, everything was just shaking on me. I've driven in a lot of snow, and I don't understand why they don't plow the roads here. That snow has been there all night long, and they don't sand and they don't plow. I guess they just wait for it to melt. I really don't understand it. Coming from the Northeast, we're out there plowing at as soon as we have an inch on the ground, we're plowing that stuff. Out here, they just let it sit out there and on interstates, and they didn't have the lights showing that the highways were closed, because that's the other thing they do, is they will just close down the roads, which is understandable. If you're going to get a 3 or 4 foot snowstorm, you can't keep up with that. But if you're going to have 4 inches of snow on the ground, I mean, why isn't somebody out there plowing that? That completely blows my mind that they just don't maintain these roads at all. And it was the same thing when I was out in Ohio. There was nobody was on the road plowing that stuff. Completely puzzles me. It's not how we do things in New York and Vermont. We're out there, and as soon as we get an inch on the ground, we're taking care of it. And I can say we in that one because I did own a plow business out there. So I am very used to driving in this stuff, clearing these roads, and being out in the worst conditions. This is not inexperience. This is just completely puzzled why they don't take care of their roads and keep them open. Let traffic. I can't tell you how many places where trucks and cars had slid off the road, and they were long enough ago that the tracks were fresh. They were not. They weren't then like snow covered over. So this wasn't early on in the storm. So there were multiple accidents, and just never had a crew go out there to clear the roads. Puzzles me, but I'm almost there. Thanks for watching.